Welcome to the channel, Jaden Chase. Now, the autopsy report for Slickianna has reached the media, and they have confirmed that Slickianna died from strangulation. Of course, we still have condolences to the family and all of our loved ones. Now, this new piece of evidence, the confirmation by the autopsy that she did indeed die from strangulation. And if reports are true, that there was fingernails found in the vehicle belonging to Mr. Patterson, then this will be more information where law enforcement can use for further help the investigation, seeing that the so-called evidence that was in the possession of Rushane Patterson, he's now claiming, has been destroyed, basically saying to law enforcement and his lawyers that the information that he claimed to have is no longer in his possession. Because if he must say the phone mash up and just because the phone mash up the information gone, that does him use other words to basically say the same thing, that he no longer has this information. Some say never did have any information at all. Tell me what you think. Some say this doesn't sound like a robbery gone wrong. This doesn't sound like just somebody that try to grab somebody bag, or somebody that try to take somebody phone, or this isn't a robbery business. Strangulation. Don't get to hear about them something in a mafia movie. If the fingernail them indeed in a vehicle, know that the autopsy report is in. You must go talk with law enforcement. You must go talk to law enforcement about that. And the people that say, if he is indeed innocent, the suspicion where they upon him now was brought about by his own actions. Running from the law, they trying to mislead the law, claiming to have information that would be useful to law enforcement, and now while being in custody, him saying not turn himself in on numerous occasions. It never happened. Law enforcement capture him. Know that him dead with law enforcement, face to face. Where's the information where him saying that have? Know that him attorney have visit him. Where's the information where him have him could have even get to she aid in him defense? The must have the information was poof and vanish, which has led some to believe that there was never any information. Some that always believe say the so-called text messages them and things when they talk about are fabricated. It was a story where make up, as I say, all of these suspicions were brought about by his actions. And that's what the people are saying. Talk to me in the comment section. I don't know how you feel. The autopsy report has confirmed that Aut0psy, more popularly known as Slickianna, died from strangulation. Now on to the other stories that are making headlines today. Now, with the increased robberies being seen on CCTV cameras, and with increased calls by law-abiding citizens for the FLA to make it not just easier, or not say easier, but simplify the process for law-abiding citizens to legally own firearms. This is what they're going to say. Maybe couldn't hear what I go on, they will continue reasoning. Look at this.
Based on our investigation reports received and our own review of that, we don't believe that arming the public generally will lead to a reduction in crime.
You do or don't?
We don't.
Don't.
We have made checks across jurisdictions to see if this has ever helped. And we have found that a more restrictionist approach, in fact, I believe New Zealand or New Zealand did an entire bring back the gun campaign in terms of taking back legal guns and making it restrictive. Other countries who have made it very restrictive in owning firearms have also seen success in that regard. It is not illegal guns in and of themselves that are the problem. Guns, we must look at it holistically. Guns are a problem. Now, 2 months ago, we received 11 reports of lost licensed firearms. Now, that 11 firearms that are now in the hands of criminals. The more guns you have out there, the more likely is that you are going to have those guns ending up in the hands of criminals, right? In 1 year, 15 guns were stolen from one location. You have seen gunmen murder policemen in uniform with their firearms on them. That tells you that they're not afraid to attack you if they know that you have a firearm on, right? So the argument that is less likely, you have police who have been in shootout with gunmen, right, with their weapons on them. So I believe that it is more a fallacy to believe that you will not be attacked because you have a firearm on you. In fact, persons may attack you because you have the firearm in order to retrieve it from you. Now, under this Firearm Act, assurance can be had that the law now sets out that the FLA must provide detailed reasons. So the FLA would normally,
rather than the standard line that you
don't need this firearm,
right?
Or you don't have you don't satisfy that you have
right.
a need. A more detailed explanation would be provided, right? So the public can be assured now that they will have a greater understanding of why the application was rejected. But let me state it categorically, that the FLA has never whimsically refused anyone for a license. A proper and detailed assessment has always been done, and the decision taken to grant or deny the person based on the circumstances present before. Each individual case is different, and so the assessment of each individual is what determines the final outcome.
Now keep in mind, when we say simplify, even people who own businesses, I find it hard to get a carrier's permit. They never make it look like, say, well, we don't just arm the population. Let's say you have a business, something we have to protect because takers are looking for come take it. Either things say a person who own a business would have qualify. But even business owners, I find it difficult. While recently we see the scandal will take place in the headlines where criminals, convicted criminals, have 2 and 3 carriers permit. One man, one criminal, have 2 and 3 carriers permit because they pay the right people. Now when law-abiding citizens are called upon the FLA to say simplify the process, we not say arm up any and everybody. Of course, background check, all them things still will take place. But we have to just simplify the process. So that law-abiding citizens, they may go tell we say them feel like say arming up the population would not solve the crime problem. Let's do it. Arming the population is not about solving the crime problem. That's a job for law enforcement. What we are talking about is making it so that citizens can protect themselves. Vulnerable citizens can protect themselves in situations until law enforcement arrive. That's what the people are talking about. The people are not saying anybody if you can just walk into the FLA. And just like you purchase a fridge at an electronics store, you just go purchase a firearm and purchase a permit. No, that's not what the people are saying. But the people are saying the process, the requirements, the delays, the wait is excessive. And that needs to be adjusted. Because clearly, the criminal element of their channels where them can get for them weapons through. Look at what go on with crime and violence. Obviously, criminals now turn up at FLA and try to get weapons. On with the wealthy ones, it seems. And this is a for them report. But regular crime and violence that we see take place in inner state communities and rural communities across the Jamaican island. These criminals never go at FLA to get them weapons. A law-abiding citizens, people who are not criminals, remember these weapons will be registered. Law-abiding citizens that say, oh, well, we are outgunned by the criminals. And we don't have enough members of law enforcement for really tackle the situation. So we need more citizens who can protect them families, protect them property. And FLA are trying to tell we no. We don't understand. The MP them need to get involved. When the MP them there and the council them there, we say them care about them constituents. And who know say you have a whole heap of law-abiding citizens in their constituency. Think about even in a rural Jamaica, where the criminal element go there and just all of a sudden capture these communities. You don't feel like say even these communities, even the people that are involved in agriculture, people that have them farm, would have them permit to have them weapon. They matter about prevent larceny. They matter about how much millions farmers lose yearly when the people them go there and take them crop, take them livestock and go away with it. And you tell me say not even these farmers them now make it easier for these farmers have weapons. If you can defend the property and the livestock. No, talk to me. Tell me if you agree. If I even stand your ground like I was seeing in Florida, where you can have your weapon there yard, and if somebody try to come into your property or depot your property and go out any type of foolishness, they permitted to use it. If I even that, I say the state are try to use laws. For try to say them are gonna use laws for curb crime and violence. Majority of these laws only affect law-abiding citizens. When them impose curfew upon community, what you feel like it affect? You feel like the criminals them whenever they left a community in the first place? You feel like the criminals them when a plan to leave out of the community affected by a curfew? Are the law-abiding citizens who have to go to work, go to school, and have to leave the community and have to try to come back into the community by a certain time? Are them people they alone these laws affect? You can't use just the laws and impose restrictions on people's rights and feel like that will curb crime and violence. Remember, we already call criminals outlaws, so why you feel like your laws are going to affect them? Only law-abiding citizens these laws affect. To me see majority of the time in a certain inner city communities, when things take place, are the law-abiding, blue-collar, hard-working people them pay the penalties. When law enforcement come in these communities and treat people away, another criminal element them a buck up and a treat away. Are the law-abiding citizens who just look pan war go on. The criminals in the run gang and hide. These are things that I feel like the state need to take into consideration. I feel like we need to have some more things that we used to see where elected officials and the people them going to these communities and they come on TV and the people them discuss what go on in these communities with members of state. Because I feel like them actually know what go on. Sometimes law enforcement them don't even know what them these communities are do. Talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. If you say no to the proposal, if they must say make it easier to get gun permits and gun license, but now say make it easier. We have to simplify the process, simplify the requirements. We now tell them to stop the background check. And keep in mind, we already have documented situations where criminals were given gun license. So we background check. What them talk about? What them talk say? We already have proof so that happen. The reason again, live, love and prosper. Of course, subscribe icon, then the bell icon and put it on all. Comment section 24/7 never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts and comments and your opinions, and we can continue the reason via the comment section. Of course, drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them for check out the reason, check out the channel. And to the reason again, live, love and prosper. And stay tuned.